such a very short notice.
Yes.
Proceed. The letter was written on 30th, which was a Friday, followed by a weekend. Sunday was a public holiday, meaning Monday was a holiday. On Tuesday, I had another engagement here in Nairobi at a court case here. So it means that I was only having Wednesday to look at these issues. I don't know why this appeared to be hurried, because it's like we're just given about 3 days to look at these issues. If you want us to give a comprehensive report, really, of course we need more time. Number two, the issues that are being raised by the committee actually are already subject of the County Assembly Agriculture Committee. Almost word for word, the CEC has that communication. Now, I'm wondering how this matter, again, was transmitted to the Senate, yet it's already with the County Assembly. Number three, Mr. Chairman, you raised some issues over the weekend about my appearance here. They were very strongly worded statements. And you are basically saying that you are coming to persecute me here and to get me off the way. And that you are assuring the Speaker of the National Assembly and Kenyans at large to put their TVs on. I hope this was also on, can put it on, to hear how the Senate is going to grill me. And you have been compared, you had a biblical anecdote about Jesus and Barnabas, and you were saying that in the Bible they crucified the wrong person, but this time around you are going to crucify the right one. Basically, you've made your conclusion that I am guilty. So I'm wondering, what are we going through? Is it some kind of choreographed charade, or what is it all about? Of course,
Chairperson, excuse me.
Order.
Excuse me, Chairperson.
Order.
Is in camera defending himself, or he is here to answer the questions?
Order, Vice Chairman. Maintain your cool.
The Senate Committee, Mr. Chairman.
Governor, just a little bit.
Yes.
My friend, Vice Chair, this is a session of the Senate. It's official. And whatever we do here is like the official sitting headed by the Speaker of the Senate. And therefore the Governor has all the right to put forward his reservations, and we shall deal with it and proceed with the matter. Thank you, Governor. Proceed.
Mr. Chairman, yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm saying this because the Senate Committee has quasi-judicial powers. It's like if I decide to come here, can actually see someone that can be arrested and be brought here. That's how serious the Senate Committee is. It's not just a talk show. And when you come here, you can discuss very serious issues. So if the chair of a committee has made such remarks in public, what chance do I stand for fairness? Will it be a fair hearing? If a magistrate or a judge were to make such remarks in public about an accused person going to appear before them, I think the logical thing to do, if the judge made those remarks in the heat of the moment, I think it's just reasonable for the judge to recuse himself. For what I'm trying to say is that I'm actually requesting the chair, because of those strong views that he holds about me, that he recuses himself from these proceedings. Because justice must not only be done, but also be seen to be done. I'm already judged. He go to his platform on social media. He's on fire. Livestock had concluded that we messed up the procurement process of this mess. So really, are we just going through some kind of sham process? Yeah, I'm ready to proceed, but not under these circumstances. where pronouncement has already been made on my guilt or otherwise.
Thank you.
And then, of course, lastly, I don't know if it's relevant, we received a set of issues that we are supposed to respond to. But then it will be a rumor that again the chair and a cabal of other people sat and generated a list of another 23 questions that are going to be raised here. I have the list here. And I want to sincerely say that if those questions are raised here, I'll politely ask to be excused. Because the Senate cannot be a platform where people out there transmit their views through honorable members. So these questions are here. We were given about 23 of them. So if any of them is raised, honorable chair, I'll politely ask to be excused. Because then it's true that I've come here to be persecuted, like Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
And if you can allow me, I can play that clip. Because it appears some members are not aware. I can play it. The exact words that you said.
You have put your case. The members have ears and eyes to judge. Honorable members.
Let me go first, Chair. I'll actually tell the governor, I'm actually surprised because I didn't hear the creed. But when I sit here as a competent senator and too as a member of this committee, committed to ensure that the business that we transact here, this being a house of record, is done fairly. And I can assure you that I wasn't aware that there was any prior preempting of the situation. But having said that, you also indicated that the notice that you were given was very short. You have a right to lie to the committee and request for more time. That's a privilege that you have, that's a right that you have. And I'm trying to look at the documents I have here. I don't seem to have anything that says or indicates that you felt the time was short. You still have that right even now to request that you be given more time. That one is a privilege that you have, and you can still use it. And I want to assure you, Governor, that we do not sit here to prosecute anybody. We don't do that. I personally, I come from Rima where men are truthful, at times very truthful. And I can tell you that I come here because I want to follow up the matter, because I have relatives who live in your county, and they want to see us follow the matter up, but not prosecute anybody. And I think it's a high time that we Kenyans learn to leave politics out of every business that we do. Some of these things we do them because we want to make each other better, we want to make systems better, we want to make service delivery better to the Kenyans, and we want to ensure that Kenyans get value for money. A way that Kenyans have learned of learning away from some of the things that bring politics into it. But Governor, I'm not sitting here for that reason. I don't want to believe that sitting next to me here is a professor in law, and I do think and believe that his commitment to ensure that we serve justice in this country, he should be the last person who would sit here to prosecute or persecute anybody. And I want to assure you that I didn't come here for that reason. And I think, Chair, let me submit that.
Thank you, Professor.
Chair, thank you. Chair, I have heard the concerns of the governor. I just want to address one issue, a legal issue on oversight. And you have talked about primary oversight. We have two forms of oversight: primary oversight and secondary oversight. And in terms of the decision of the Supreme Court on the question of oversight, what the Supreme Court has held is that all forms of oversight, both forms, either by the county assembly or senate, can take place either at the same time or at level, because the county assembly may interrogate a matter on different aspects. I do not know what they are doing on this question, but that will not stop Senate from interrogating the matter of asking questions. Number two, I think you preempted an outcome based on what you perceive to have seen or heard from public rallies that I don't think members know anything about, or most I do not personally know about. I did not see what clips you were talking about, but I thought the issues are so specific because they relate to procurement or dealings under the embedded program, and you'll ask very specific questions. And I think the rules of this house are that if you are unable to respond to a question, you will simply say so and move on. So I thought you let the process go on, and then if there are issues of concern, then you can raise them as you go on. But of course, I'm also alive to the fact that, as you have said, if you did not have enough time to respond, you would have then said that you request for another date because you are not ready to respond, because you referred to 23 questions. You have alluded to possible 23 questions that we do not know about ourselves on our part. You make it difficult for us because we do not know whether, because once I listen to your submission, I'll ask a question on various aspects, and I do not know whether those fall within question number 5 or 6 or 7 of the schedule that you have. So now, who are open to fairness, and I don't think that the chair said that he would be prejudiced because it's a committee. We're all here. We will ask questions, and unless you feel completely ill-prepared, I think the best way is to interrogate the issues, proceed with them, and then we do a report in the end. Because finally, remember, a report of this committee will find its way to the House under the standing orders, and all members will have to deliberate. I'm sure you have your able senator here as well. I do not know what political platform both of you stand on. Maybe you're both in the same platform, I do not know. But I think we have a whole set of 68 senators who deliberate on all these issues, and it cannot be said that we can all decide that will be unfair to you merely because you perhaps share a different opinion. I also note that you have referred to, even if some of these matters are under other processes, it is fair that Senate, remember that the well function under Schedule 4 of the Constitution, and we deal with this program, we deal with these questions, and then we come up with a fair report. And I think having this challenging the report are there, but it is important that we continue with our work as a committee, exercising, as you said, the judicial powers. Thank you.
Let Senator Abbas give a comment, then I come.
Chair, I think if truly the matter was discussed outside this meeting, or earlier than what the way the Governor said, and the Governor is also saying that we are not giving enough time, and there are so many questions here. I don't know whether the Governor can be able to prove to this committee that the meeting was preempted, the public presence. You have proof?
Mr. Chairman, I raised that matter because, not because I'm not ready to answer the question, because these are things that we did. I can even answer you, ask you today and answer tomorrow because I've got all the information. All I'm saying is that the process must be fair. I have come here today, not as a governor, but as a man. Because what the judge said challenged me as a man, as a Bukusu man. He is now appearing before men, other men to be persecuted. Had I chickened out on account I didn't have enough time, I'll be finished today. So I'm here more.
Sorry, the chair.
Can we just play that clip? Well, you only hear what he said, because the clip is that, the chair is here. What is the harm of playing the clip? We have it. We have the clip. We have the clip. He has about 2 minutes clip. It's not a long one.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Governor, and Senator Abbas. When was the letter sent?
The letter was sent on Friday at 9.
At what time?
It sent it to the PA at 6:38. Yeah.
Okay. Then we proceed. Mondigi, and then we go back to what Governor is talking about.
Chairperson, my name is Senator Alexander Mondigi, Senator of Embu County. As a senator, we are here for transparency because of oversight. All of us, we are human beings. What Governor he is saying the day was small. On my side, to fairness, I'm supporting the governor to be given time, because even if we are going to give him 1 month, 1 month will be finished, will come my end. 2 months will come my end. So it is good to be here. I'm supporting the governor to be here, but the governor, it is good to understand. All of us, we are here for oversight. We are neutral. We need the worker to be perfect. I'm supporting.
Chair, I think I'm not convicted by questions. Chair, with all due respect and with all fairness,
Yes.
if the governor, what he's saying is true, I think personally I would say that we need to give more time to the governor. And if the pronouncement is there, then I think you as a chair, maybe you will not be fair to this governor. Let's be honest. So, if we agree, we all step aside for this meeting.
Chairman, that's not for all of us. Senator, it is good.
Senator Mundigi.
It is good for us.
Order, Senator Mundigi.
So I think sorry for that. I don't want to pronounce myself. We give the chairman, the governor time to step out. Sorry, I think I made the threat to step out, and then the committee discuss on what to do. So
Thank you.
Let me also add my record.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I want the other record that not to you to step aside. The governor to step out, and then we'll discuss.
Thank you very much. I also want to concur with my colleague, Senator, because should there have been matters that were discussed outside here, then as members we need to be apprised of that, because it's also important for us also to know what transpired before. So I think, Chair, if you find it fit maybe to let Governor and his team.
I don't want to discuss them, and you proceed. But I was given this question because I was told this entire exercise is a lynching exercise. I've come here to be prosecuted, to be persecuted, and this question, there is a command center in Bungoma that has come up with these questions that are outside the issues that have been raised here. That's the only concern, but I'm ready to proceed.
Incoming Chair, I want to, because of time, as a senior counsel, I trust your wisdom to defend the innocent and the guilty. I want to take a neutral position and proceed as an active member of this committee. Thank you.
So we'll dive, thank you, Chair. We will dive right in as Chair of the Commission now. We'll dive right into the issues. Governor, I invite you to introduce your team. Have you done that?
I've done that.
Yes.
No,
Proceed to table the documents that you have.
I have a report here on all the issues raised, plus supporting documents in terms of appendices.
Honorable Chair.
Just confirming if you've tabled the documents, if they're all signed, just to confirm. Governor, the documents.
The document is not signed.
You need to sign it.
Yes, please proceed.
Just confirm if it's all duly signed. You could sign one copy so that you table that one, so that then you can proceed to present. Yeah. have the signed copy. You could go through, just take us through the documents that you've tabled so that we have it on record.
So we go issue by issue, starting on page 2. I don't have to go into the introduction, just the background. So the first issue is report on the procurement and tendering for maize seed. The issue was when and how the tender was advertised. The tender was advertised on Monday, 27th January 2025, through page 2 of the Daily Nation for the supply and delivery of hybrid maize seed under tender number 170-6296 of 2024-2025 as Pandex 1, which is on page 6. Additionally, the tender notice was published on the official Trans-Nzoia account website, www.transoia.go.ke, the suppliers portal, www.supplier.treasury.go.ke, the government tenders portal, www.tenders.go.ke, and the county public service board. 2, the list of companies or entities that submitted bids for the tender. Number 1 was Kenya Seed Company Limited of PO Box 553, 3200 Kitale. Relief Line Kenya Limited of PO Box 25914, 100 Nairobi. And Western Seed Company of PO Box 1022, 3200 Kitale. Number C, the evaluation and awarding criteria outlined in the tender documents. The evaluation, which was at 3 stages, the preliminary, technical evaluation, and financial evaluation, and awarding criteria was as contained in the tender document, indicating the actual scores as per the attached Appendix 2, which is on page 8. Question 4, quantity of maize seed procured and the unit cost per bundle, and whether the cost was aligned to the prevailing market rates at the time of procurement. 256,029 packets of 2 kg each. 1 kg at the unit price of Kenya shillings 210. 2 kg at a unit price of Kenya shillings 420. A bundle has 12 packets of 2 kilograms costing 5,040 Kenya shillings per bundle. Note, based on the approved budget and market price, the initial quantity that was to be procured was 145,700 at a cost of 690. This was based on the market survey. You have to go to the market with the price as per Appendix 3 on page 23, requisition form. However, the Ministry of Agriculture circular reference number MOA/LCD/9/16/7, which revised the Kenya Seed Company pricing to Kenya shillings 420 per 2 kg packet, as documented in Appendix 4 on page 28, enabled the department to procure 256,029 packets out of estimated targeted population of 400,000 poor small-scale farmers, as per Akipra 2024. Number 5, criteria for identification and vetting of the beneficiaries, including the total number of packets of maize seed allocated to each beneficiary. Eligibility criteria. These must be small-scale farmers, small-scale landowners of 0.2 acres or less who are poor. Another category of widows, the youth, the elderly, persons living with disabilities, women or resource poor individuals. The selection of beneficiaries was conducted through a thorough vetting process by a designated ward selection committees. The county executive committee member is the appointing authority of the vetting committees as per the Trans Nzoia County Crop Agriculture Act 2021, Clause 9, which is Appendix 5 on page 30. The vetting criteria adopted the guidelines developed from Clause 10 of the Crops Act, that's Appendix 6 on page 34. Each beneficiary was allocated 1 packet of 2 kg certified hybrid seed maize. Number 6, the mode of communication with the public and how the distribution was undertaken in the county. The public was informed through multiple channels, the usual one that we use, including the ward planning committees, which comprise of ward administrator, ward agricultural officer, area chief, a representative of the area member of the county assembly, representatives of youths, representative of persons with disabilities, and representative of women. Distribution of notification letters to ward administrators, chiefs and village elders, use of public address systems, social media platforms, and public posters. How were the distributions undertaken in the county? Venues were identified per ward as per the third schedule, Appendix 7 on page 39. The distribution was done publicly at the identified venues, and as the chairman, I want to confirm that I attended all the distribution activities in all the 25 wards. Some had 2 venues, others had 1, but I was personally present in all of them. So that's our report. The rest are supporting documents.
Is that all? Do you want to cede way to your CCM Agriculture to say anything or to add anything?
Unless you have something to add, that was the report from the counter. And maybe if there are any issues to be raised, then we'll respond.
So you're prepared for questions. Members, just for some direction, Governor, if we ask you questions and should you want to consult or ask your CCM to respond, you'll ask for leave so that they can then respond to the question. Now, just some housekeeping issues. I want you to refer to page 10, page 13, page 16 and 18. Go to page 10. Members, go to page 10. I don't know whether all of you are able to read, whether your page 10s are legible. Maybe you can. Page 10, you can go to page 10 that has a list of the score sheet. What is the date of page 10? Governor, just page 10. We cannot clearly see. Is there a date at page 10?
It's 10th. 3rd of February. 3rd of February, 2025.
But where is the 3rd of February? That's or 3rd of, up on the part of the date.
Just before farms, that is participant. It's the date.
They're different. Some are not ready. What about page 13? We'll go to page 13 again, the one that is also not very clear. 13 was not, some of them are not numbered. I don't know whether you have page 13. And page 16 as well. 16 again is not very clear. I think the same document.
Yeah. We have been
and page 17 and 18 as well.
documents that were written by hand, actually for so many of them.
They become unclear. I think the team should make better copies next time. Now, so Governor, you have presented, you have indicated the supply chain and how the procurement process was undertaken. I would ask members to dive right to questions. I will start with Mr. Abbas.
Thank you, Chair.
Senator Abbas, proceed.
For one, I think I will ask, maybe through your Chair, about whether the Governor can be able to present something readable, that's eligible to be seen, that can be seen. These are very important documents. So you can have original copies or whatever, however you do it. I request for the copies. So, okay, my question is, Honorable Speaker, sorry, Governor. You know, in line with Section 104(1) of County Government Act 265, can you confirm the document series was part of the approval plans or part of the budget? You have approval?
I can confirm, Chair, that we had a budget for the seed. It was captured even in our procurement plan.
You have a copy of that plan?
You have it?
Governor, have you shared that document with your response?
No. It was not part of the queries.
So are you able to avail the document?
Yes, we have. We have the document.
Senator is referring to.
Actually, I'm told it's attached. Which page? Page 40. On page 40.
On the same port?
Yes.
Proceed, Senator.
Page 40. Approved development budget estimates for financial year 2024-2025.
The problem is that your responses are not numbered. There's no numbering. There's no numbering of the documents that I have. What I have does not have, is not paginated.
Time, Chair, the time. We can have a perfect document because of the shortness of time.
Page 40.
Development budget.
Yes. Under 311301, purchase of certified crop seed. It's 100,503,121.
So was this thing approved by the Assembly?
Definitely. It was.
Do you have the approvals by the Assembly? Do you have evidence of approval by the Assembly? Now that you I think is a question you need to complete.
Yes, you know, once the Assembly approves the budget, it's going to be for assent. So really, if a copy is required, I can get it from my office.
Yes, it's important because that's an important question.
Because the budget, the approved budget is there, we can provide it.
Yes, I think that's important for your department to ensure that
It's provided.
it's available for purposes of responding to that question comprehensively. Okay, Senator Abbas, any other question?
No, good.
Senator Ngoma?
Now, you have clearly indicated that it was budgeted for.
Yes.
I want to find out from your office if there is a clear inventory after the supply of these seeds, if there is an inventory of who received them, how they were kept, and by the time of distribution, if there is any documentation to that effect. So that you can be able to know that they truly supplied what has been given to us today.
Honorable Senator, the inventory is there of what was procured and received and how it was distributed.
Do you have copies of the delivery, whoever delivered who received and who was issuing the seeds as they were going to the field. The documentation part of it.
We have the documentation.
Please.
Which page is it? S13 for receiving.
Again, there is no pagination. I need to know, can you share that actual page, because we don't have...
This one is a bulk document. It's not contained in the report. The file is here.
So does that file have a list of beneficiaries and a list of deliveries, word by word?
Chair, what we have is a list of S13s. These are documents that you issue when you receive supplies. That I've received this quantity of supplies you receive with that. And then now you issue with an S11. We have them here. Now the person who receives with that S11 is the one who generates the distribution list, and it is there. All that chain is there. We can provide it.
So Governor, you are saying that you have a list of all the beneficiaries who received their seeds per ward?
Yes.
Do you have it here? Can you table the entire set of documents? Can you table that?
We have it. They can go and get it.
Can they? Because we need it table. Because that is.
Honorable Chair, before he leaves, you know, we were talking about whoever received the seeds from the company or the tender, and whoever was issuing the seeds from the warehouse, because they were specific based on your research. If it was going to Kaplamai, there is a form that was filled by the person in charge going to the specific ward, so that we escalate from the person in charge to the ward. Thank you, Chair. So if they have it, we'll be glad to have them.
That information is there.
So how long do you need to bring that information? It's important to tell. So I assume that then you have the list that will indicate the dates when seeds were taken, for instance, to Machewa, Virunda, Kashudi, Sabata, Mbai, Mbao, with the numbers, with the specific numbers. Namwichula, Halwenge, all those places.
We have all of them.
A distribution chain.
It's here, we have. Of course, there are 25. There are 25 files.
Yes.
Because I've got 25 wards. And some wards have got more like 2-3 files because there are 2-3 venues.
So do you need time? Do you want to table them now, or do you need how much time do you need to bring those documents?
They're just in the vehicle. They can be brought.
Yes, I think rather than be brought then.
You know, the problem is we are not told the required documents. You look at the questions, Chair. So that's fairly straightforward. This information, this information, this information. But now these particular details, you know, if we're told now come with this and this and this, we'll not be having this, we'll be having all this information.
Okay, so let him avail those documents as we proceed. Senator, any other question?
Maybe, Chair.
Yes, Senator Abbas.
See, was there a public consultation when they could distributing the seeds? What criteria do you use? Or you give it to everybody, or you give it to specific farmers?
As I said,
Are you doing groups?
no. We use the poverty index to identify the number of eligible people for this seat in Tanzania. One of our guiding principles was that we'll give farmers who have a maximum of 0.2 acres. We call them pointimbili. The 2 kgs of maize seed would comfortably be planted on 0.2. So prior to the distribution of these seeds, we had identified there would be beneficiaries, and the numbers were huge. Because some places we get around 10,000 people, 15,000 people. When we issue this seed, and outside I would think it's a very chaotic assignment, but they don't know that a lot of planning has gone into it. We know our people. We know who is eligible, and we know who is not eligible. So it was not just like we call a random distribute seat. That's why we've got a list of beneficiaries.
Governor, just on that question, I think it's good to clarify. Where did you get the poverty index for Trans Nzoia? Because there's none.
Kipra.
Because there's none. Where do you get disaggregated to the wards? How do you determine poor people in Trans Nzoia? And does it mean that if you own half an acre or 0.2 acres, as you say, then you are poor? Because there are people who own half an acre and are richer than those who own 10 acres.
Mr. Chairman, those of us who grew in the village, you don't need that to know a poor person. But there are people who think that poverty is an academic exercise. So you engage in those kind of arguments. But a person who is poor, you go to the village, just this person is poor. And that's what we're talking about. A person having 0.2 acres of land, and he has got 10 children, he has got a wife, he's about to share that same piece of land with the children who are married. You know, poverty out there doesn't need indicators, academic indicators. They just live, it's known. I feel like Trans Nzoia talking about 38% poverty index, but you look at other authorities, again they talk of 60%. So basically, like every little small scale farmer in Trans Nzoia is poor. If it were for me, I wouldn't even do targeting, and if I had money, I'd just buy seed and distribute to everyone.
Governor, I'm asking this because I personally distribute seed. I buy and distribute.
I'm sure you struggle with means testing, even the way she struggle with means testing.
Except the money from my pocket. But let me answer the question.
Yes.
What level, what was the threshold of poverty that your team used in seed distribution? Or did you involve, I think he's talking about public, but did you involve the ward administrators and other levels of administration to identify people who are poor?
There is a criteria that is contained, it's on page 4. I read it. The criteria is there, eligibility criteria.
Through the chair. I'm looking at the criteria and the good minister is here. It says, your report, selection of beneficiaries was conducted through a thorough vetting process by designated ward selection committees. If I stop at that and ask through the governor, do you have minutes of the planning as a minister, the planning for the distribution of those seats at the county level, the minutes of that thing, and then escalate that to the minutes of formalizing or formulating these committees which you are in charge to formulate? And where were they done? And at what time? And then we proceed from that. When did you officially appoint these people? And that now comes to the question. Where, Governor, when you are talking us through that, it was announced in various platforms. I'd like to see if you have copies of notification to the chiefs that you have indicated, to the ward administrators as you've indicated, to the representatives of the county assembly like my good friend who is here. If we can get those notices of notification that this is the process that's going to be done. We have those minutes and that through the governor.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, proceed, the governor, proceed.
Mr. Chair, we appear to be addressing issues that we do not know. What is the issue? Are we saying that we will not distribute seed? Are we saying that we gave to the wrong people? Are we saying that we didn't buy seed? Because we need to know what the issue is. What is the issue that we are responding to? When we look at our ingredients, that's just general statements. When we go into the specifics, was there a complaint? what is the issue, so that we really know the background, so that we respond when we talk about. Because what the member is talking about, it gives the employers a set way of distributing maize seed in Kenya. So you must have this committee, you must have this one. What authority is reporting? So we need to know what the issue is, what are the issues.
Through the chair, let me just go through this. Page 4 of the submissions of eligibility criteria. Small scale landowners who are poor, widows, youth, persons with disability, and all that. Selection of beneficiaries was conducted through vetting process by designated ward selection committees.
Yes.
So the question I asked for the first time is, where are the minutes of these ward selection committees as they were doing the vetting exercise? That is my point number 1.
Let us note that one.
I proceed.
What the minutes of what committees?
The ward selection committees.
Yes.
And if the vetting was done, the minutes must indicate those people they vetted.
Yes.
Because it must translate into the list of beneficiaries of the seeds that you procured. Okay? And I've equally asked Good Waziri to give us, if she has the minutes, because you have the authority, the first meeting of planning for the distribution of these seeds to the ward, if you have those minutes, so that it cascades down to the beneficiary of the seeds.
Through the chair, yes we do.
Proceed. Do you have them? You can table them.
The minutes of what selection committees? Which files?
They were appointed by the CCM.
Yes.
Yes, so let's have the minutes of their proceedings so that we then can identify those beneficiaries. I'm sure they did. And Governor, you're asking, what are we looking for? We are not looking for anything. We are doing oversight over your processes as by the mandate of this committee. So I don't think we should be worried. And just to are you have another question? Governor, Mr. Bass, Senator, do you have any other question?
Maybe mine is actually on the same line. Honorable Speaker, Governor, you know, when you are distributing this kind of foods, seeds, in every ward, there must be a part of concern where the receiving people, you have some evidence of where you have delivered, or there are photos or anything that what matters where you met.
Chair, we have got all that information. And I said the documents we have are valid because the committees are per ward, and we have got 25 of them. We have all the information here for all the wards, the minutes, the list of beneficiaries per ward we have. And we are going to table all of them.
Governor,
if you check on your page 53,
proceed.
You look at page 3, it's appointment. This is how appointments were done. To ward.
Sorry, which page?
53.
Okay.
That's an example of one guy who was appointed and later failed. My then MCS representative. This was on the 17th of July 2024. Chair, if you can allow to read the appointment letter. Like now this appointment letter, appointment to what subcon for subcon committee for scheduled crop Fukuza Njaa initiative. The county government of Trans Nzoia Department of Agriculture, Irrigation, Livestock, Fisheries and Corporate Development is implementing the Fukuza Njaa initiative. The program is aimed at promoting food security in the county by promoting adoption and use of certified maize seeds by small-scale farmers. The program involves identification of beneficiaries, training of farmers, distribution of certified maize seed, and monitoring and evaluation. The purpose of this letter is to communicate the decision to appoint you as a ward-level committee member for Fukuza Njaa initiative for a period of 1 year from the date of this appointment. Your duty shall be to attend Fukuza Njaa initiative ward-level committee meetings, help in identification and vetting of beneficiaries in accordance with the set out guidelines, conduct regular monitoring and evaluation, give reports on the progress of the agricultural programs in your ward. I wish you well as you advance services to this great county. This letter is signed by Atundi Naliaka, the County Executive Committee member for Agriculture. And then on the next page, page 54, there's a sample of the minutes. When the meetings were held, you can go through and see what it talks about. And this applies to all the wards. And we're going to supply appointment letters for all the members, the committee minutes, and distribution lists for the beneficiaries, because we have all of them.
Yes, Senator.
Chair, through you, I think, as the governor had mentioned earlier before, that the 7 days was not enough for him to organize documents, more documents that you might have needed. Maybe for the documents that are not present, I'm just praying if the governor can be given time to table those documents.
Yes, he has not said whether he has the minutes of all the 25 wards, or the 25 committees that were appointed.
We have.
And if he has all the list of all the beneficiaries.
We have.
And you have all details, all bank statements that paid Kenya seed that was procured.
Yes.
And you have all the details, all those who got the IDs, you have all those.
All that.
And
you can even have a sample.
And you might even say you've also brought them.
If needed, they can be brought.
I will request through the chair that even the list, samples of the list of beneficiaries should be forwarded.
Yes, even the list of beneficiaries.
It's not a sample. It's a complete list. It's the actual list of the beneficiaries we have.
It's very encouraging to have the entire list. We'll need those lists presented.
Yes. So the other one, you'll present them now, or will you ask for time?
We need copies of the lists or originals.
We need the original list because we need copy. We need to have them presented as per the.
Because now we are having
legible documents.
We are having an annual audit.
Yes.
That just started last week.
Sure, I think I'll advise eligible.
And I'm sure they're going to require this.
This one is not eligible. This one is actually not a proper.
Should be legible. Yeah, because we need to have legible documents so that we don't come around. Because we look at as long as they're properly marked.
Chair, I would request that you give us a list of all the documents that you need, so that when you go back to Kitale, we just prepare all bundles and have them delivered here.
Yes, Mr. Senator Abbas.
Yes, Chair, I think, as you rightly said, the governor said, the Secretary can write all those things, all the articles that we require, or they can agree with, especially with the short time. One other question I have is that, Honorable Governor, what is your long-term plan for SIP action? Because now that you have this program, one day we think, and you cannot be able to be spending out of money on this, spending 100 million shillings, right? And What is your plan for seed banking and food beneficiaries? Do you have a plan for seed banking?
Chair, when county government decides to buy seed for farmers, and it generates a lot of excitement among the farmers, it goes to explain the level of poverty among the people, especially food poverty. We've given ourselves another maybe 2 years, because even now it's a lot of progress, a lot of improvement. There's a lot of food security at the household level now. Actually, we're planning to do a bit of also subsidizing fertilizer, so that we really produce enough food. So once we are satisfied that our farmers can really now produce food and therefore start engaging in other economic activities, we're going to stop this, because even tokenism doesn't really last. It appears to be tokenism really, but we're just helping farmers. Once they're stable and they can stand on their own 2 feet, they can go to the shop and buy their own seed. We'll be good to go.
And now that you're talking about sustainability, it's important, just a follow-up question. Did you follow up? Did your CCM and team follow up to find out, 1, whether the seeds germinated, 2, whether they are ready in the field, and 3, whether there are proper follow-up mechanisms that you intend to, as it were, M&D, whether you want to be following up this program as a continuous program of the county, or was it just a one-off?
It's not a one-off program, because you can't fight poverty in just 1 year. So it's a long-term program. Actually, we're going to focus on this for my first time in office, this first 5 years. Provision of seed is going to be key. But Chair, I want to beg you, because you guys are Mchakorogewa, Nairobi, why can't you find time and come to Kitale? Just come to Trans Nzoia.
You want us to visit the farms?
Please.
The governor?
Please, I can even facilitate it. Just come to the ground. Sort of doing an academic exercise just being done somewhere. Just come and see for yourself, especially now. Just come. Those who are looking at seed, this something just happened somewhere in the air, the beneficiaries are not there, Kenya seed maybe it's not there. Please come to the ground.
Sure.
Yes, Senator.
I think I want to tell the governor that the Senate has enough money to go to the field. We don't need presentation. However, it's good to go visit the place, to see at least how farmers appreciate the program.
The governor, understanding Order 228, we are well resourced, so we can arrange, this committee can determine the mode of conducting its proceedings. We can decide after hearing you and after going through all these voluminous documents to visit, to actually come and see some of the farms. I have noted that in some pages, I think there are people who signed for others. I've seen, for instance, and this is Napiswa. Napiswa, I can see that Colin Nasimiyu, Kutuhulu, and Alubina Naliaka Simiyu have the same ID number. They are both widows and they have the same signature, for instance. So these are the concerns which you may not know, and which the CCM may not even know. And that brings me to the question: was this program foolproof? Can you speak for this program, or are there people who receive seeds for other people, or people who are not poor who came in and received seeds for other people?
Chair, the standards that you are holding me to, you can't even hold yourselves to.
No, my list of no double.
Because really you can get one person maybe getting to, those things we must make a provision for them. One person can sign for the other, really it happens. But if you want to come to Trans Nzoia, don't take too much time, because this maize is not just stagnant, it's growing. You come around October, you find no maize. You never harvested. So please come in this month of June, July, and even just see the beauty of Trans Nzoia in terms of maize. The plantations or small-scale farmers, but it may look like just a large plantation, but they're different, only by different small-scale farmers.
Through the chair. Number 4, the submissions on not near page number 4 on the eligibility. the acreage was there, widow, elderly persons with disability, resource poor individual selection here. That is page 4. Now I want us to go to page 53. The minutes that we just read them. And look at what was introduced. And then that one will inform us to ask a question which I'll bring later. The chair gave out guidelines and criteria to be used for those to benefit from seed maize as follows. 1, should be a resident of Saboti Ward.
Which page?
Mine reads 53. Mine reads 53.
The fourth.
Yes, of the governor's submission.
53.
Yes, page 53. Mine is 53. I think we have an issue with the numbering. Are we all there? So the minute says, the chair gave out guidelines and criteria to be used for those to benefit from seed maize as follows. Should be a resident of Saboti Ward, at least have 0.1 of an acre of land, should either be of the above persons, should be one who can acquire fertilizer for the farm. Now, when the minister was giving directions up here, there was no criteria that they should acquire fertilizer to the farm. Because a poor person without the capacity cannot be able to buy. Then it brings me to my other question. In the financial preparation of planning, was there any money set aside for fertilizer, subsidy fertilizer for the farmers? And if so, how was it used? And how were the beneficiaries found? Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Governor.
Before the governor
First, please. There are too many questions.
The governor, hold on before Senator.
Yes, I'm chairing another ICT committee. Yes, just begging to step out.
So, Senator, do you have any remarks or any questions or any clarification you need from the governor before you leave? So you can take up that question together with.
No, Chair, I think I am just a friend of the committee, and I believe the committee has their own mandates. So I think I was just begging for, as I was saying, I was just begging for, of course, fairness in whatever is being prosecuted. But I thank you.
Senator, I hear you to say that we are fair in our proceedings and that you're happy with the proceedings. Thank you. We are very fair. The Senator is agreeing, we are very fair.
Let me go on record and say I acknowledge you are very fair.
Yes, that's our DNA. Governor, proceed.
The criteria, the first criteria is talking about 0.1. I want to believe it's a typo. Because the criteria is very clear and it's done through a circular. 2 kg.
Excuse me, Governor. Now that you've mentioned about a circular, can Waziri provide that circular that she delivered to the ward administrators and the ward agricultural officers? That circular in particular.
Yes, I'll supply it in a few.
Please proceed.
Thank you.
So, in terms of your fertilizer can also be manure. You know, you don't just plant beans. You don't have artificial fertilizer. You can get.
I think we are dealing with a very serious matter. That's why I generated the next question. Because here it means they can procure their own fertilizer. And procuring is a process. It's if it were in our culture, then you could have advised them just to walk to the nearby farm if one has no animal. But now my question was specific. This procurement aspect of fertilizer, why did the minister put it here and not on the circular? And I want that circular here.
We just encouraging farmers that when you give you certified seed and you plant it without fertilizer, you're not going to get the 6 bags of meal that we are telling you. We may get 3, not because the seed was bad, but because we not give it enough nutrients.
Governor,
it's not like just a first rule cast in stone.
My good governor, it is not for the person to feel motivated by that sentence. That's why there was something called public participation and involvement of the chief, the Likuru, the ward agriculture officer. If it were in their minutes, we will see clearly they being motivated to look for an option to do that. That's why I'm raising this concern and asking our good Waziri, give us the memo that came from your office to guide. And in fact, it now brings me to, do you even have a policy that guides these farm inputs? Yes.
Can we go maybe question by question, because I was asking many questions at the same time.
You can respond to each
at the same time.
How many do you have about? You can disaggregate. Start with the first one.
You know, we say we are procuring seed for poor people, seed. So you cannot give a condition that we must be able to acquire fertilizer. It's self-defeating. If you cannot buy seed, how can you buy fertilizer? So our focus is seed. And we're talking about seed. That's got not proven. This one is a misplaced statement by a chairman. We should be held personally accountable for doing these minutes because no one knows what they were told. It's not a requirement. And Chair, please get it from me because I'm the guest in charge of that county and I know what I'm doing there. I have not made any requirement for fertilizer as a precondition for getting maize seed. It's not there.
The maize can grow in Trans Nzoia without fertilizer.
You can boost it with manure. Yeah, and actually we are moving away from some of these artificial fertilizers like DAP. The national government put 76 million shillings on the budget for fertilizer in Trans Nzoia. It was supposed to be a conditional grant. It was on our budget. We never saw a single cent. If we had gotten that money, we would have been able to supply both seed and fertilizer. And we'll be in a better place. Not be talking about 3 years, be talking about 2 years. To sufficiency of food security at household level.
So, maybe you can move the next question, the policy question.
Let me just take members through. And I will request now that governors stepped in to say that is an erroneous requirement, that the county government now submits to us the other minutes, and I want to Secretariat, can you check all the other minutes? If that sentence appears on the criteria for the seat. Now, looking at, according to the 2009 county fact sheet democratic data, Trans Nzoia County had a total population of 990,341, with 811 residing in rural areas. Down there, finally, in terms of agricultural engagement, 129 households were involved in crop production, 96,800 households in livestock production, and 6,636 households participated in other farming-related activities. Now, having that statement that either one can procure fertilizer or they can apply manure, from an informed point of view as a ministry, what are the numbers of the poor farmer who has manure based on the latest survey that you've done that can now encourage manure to be applied on 2 kilograms of seed maize?
Governor, did you bother to find out who has manure, or you just gave seed? I think that's the long and short of the question. And then the policy question, respond to the policy question that was.
You know, Chairman, the problems of the rural farmers are very many. As a county, we are addressing one now, which is seed. We give you seed. If you're going to get artificial fertilizer, get manure and plant with it, so be it. But we have given you seed, go and plant. Because the problem was, they were not even planting certified seed. They'll get this year's harvest, get the best product, put it on some fireside, not be to dry properly. The following year they plant it, and production is going down. So we stepped in as government to provide certified seed. All these other things are also important. Fertilizer is important, manure is important, but for us, it's not our main concern. The main concern is to reach as many farmers as possible in terms of certified seed, and we're struggling. This year we did very well because Kenya Seed had previously quoted the price of 690. Which through government intervention, they were able to revise it downward to 420, enabling us to procure almost double. So we reach very many farmers, but not all of them. We want to strive to reach as many farmers as possible, just in terms of certified maize seed first. Then now we'll see as a county if we can now start coming in terms of fertilizer. Even if they just provide maybe 2 kilos or 4 kilos. Because not very many farmers can actually procure fertilizer. Even the subsidy by the government, you supply fertilizer, you put it in a store, and just 2 farmers, big ones, they'll come and clear everything. One farmer wants to go and pick 1 bag of fertilizer, is traveling 20 kilometers, really it's not economical. So that was not also not working.
Let me ask you a question just so are you saying that your fertilizer initiative aligns well with the bottom-up transformation initiatives?
The seed.
So you are
the seed initiative aligns well with that better.
So you actually ascribe.
I want the national government transformation. I want the national government to come to Trans-Nzoia and benchmark that indeed is possible, even for this bottom-up economic transformation agenda, to provide even free fertilizer. All counties in the world subsidy farm.
Which you believe in now.
Sure. Even before reading that blueprint.
Excellent. But now wait a minute. What is the total acreage that was planted, the seed that you gave? What total acreage was planted under that seed? I think that's an important question.
The crops guy can respond.
Yes.
For the information.
And what is the projected food target? What is the projected production that you as a county expect out of that initiative?
I want to get
before
you respond. Chairman, I think I don't know if it's in order for the governor to say that their concerns is only to provide seeds. The concern is food production. We want to enhance food production. So you must be able to know, by the time you're giving this farmer some seeds, suspect seeds, then you must also have a follow-up on the output. How much food is being produced in that place? Out of the tonnage you have provided, how much food has been produced? And how many acres have been covered? But if you see only your concerns are only to give seeds, that is not the right.
No, that you didn't get me right.
Food security is your concern. We want to enhance food security.
Well, you didn't get me right. I said in food production, there are many components.
Yes.
The government now is providing technical input through our extension officers, and we're applying seed for the farmer. If we get adequate resources, we can still provide fertilizer. But we know the number of farmers and the amount of land that they have cultivated this year. We have projections on how much maize could be produced this year. And we have consistently increased the production since we began this program. Production has been growing up every year. I think this year we're projecting 6.2. We are projecting 6.2 million bags of 9 kilograms. Yeah, and Tanzania, I think the second largest producer of maize. Yeah.
So, I mean, when did you start this program for When did you start the program?
It was the 3rd year.
This 3rd year?
Yeah, and every year you can see progress in terms of production.
So, what's the success that you are going to tell us? You have a success story to tell us that from the first year to this year.
Yes. Actually, for the last 3 years, we have added 1 million bags from 5.2 to 6.2 million.
Okay.
Through the chair, I want to appreciate these seats, but I want to ask a very critical question. These names that I have, the rubber stamps are there, all of them. From the first page, there is no date. Rubber stamps throughout, very fresh rubber stamps, but there is no date. That is number one. Number two, we've given...
What do you mean fresh?
The ink is as new as dodo.
What do you mean? What do you confirm?
I can hand over my file to Chair. The rubber stamps are fresh. There are no dates on the rubber stamps.
How does a free rubber stamp look like?
Just as it you presented it, Governor.
Chairman, that's why I was
Number two,
No, it's okay, it's okay.
it is very clear. You can hand over the file to him.
Governor, I also do not have expertise in freshness. I can only look through my eyes.
My eyes are fresh. I'm young and smart.
So this is not the doubt.
No,
Let him proceed.
whoever thinks about it knows what he's thinking. Now I'm asking through the chair.
That's the question.
These seeds as we give, I'm getting good projections. Do we have data of how much each farmer harvested? Because we are running into a problem in this country where we are giving farm inputs for free over and over, but no institution is giving us returns and value for the benevolence of the national government or benevolence of the county governments. And we must ensure our farmers are self-sustaining moving forward. Do we have data that Alubina from Machewa got 2 kilos, harvested this, and it's a good projection, tabulated as part of evaluation and reporting?
We have, Chair.
We have that information, but for this session, we are focusing on this year. I can't really give you that information because we are yet to harvest. You have to wait until we harvest, then we'll know how much maize every farmer has harvested from the seed that we've distributed. But if we go backwards, we can give the exact figures. Of course, we can't go to every farmer, but we can do an average and see these farmers have increased their production by this much.
Thank you.
But the data is there. If you want us to avail it, include in the list of documents, give us 1 week, every document will be here.
As I finish, because I'll still come back. Why I'm asking that is the national government, using their village elders, they assist government in getting data of those vulnerables to get subsidized fertilizer. And if pushed or asked, they can table results. How many extension services officers are you using to give us feedback? Proceed, Waziri.
Waziri can respond with the permission of the...
Through the chair, thank you. As a county, we have a number of extension personnel categorized as the county government, and 2 we have the agripreneurs. For agripreneurs, we have a total of 167 employed by the national government, and for the county government, we have a total of 247. Whilst the ward agricultural officers, sub-county agricultural officers, and the field agricultural officers. So we work as a team. Thank you.
And do these people do their work? Because I said by now, the question I have asked, they need to have given you feedback. Because that is a very huge number of people with the boots on the ground.
Yes, they do. I personally go out with my officers here and give a weekly report to His Excellency the Governor. We do.
So through the chair, I will request that in the next 7 days, they submit to us the 2023-2024 projected outcome of the maize and the actual, because the data, they have given us the data of every farmer. Every farmer.
We do have the projection with us.
And now I want us, the same way the spirited filing of the beneficiaries, we are looking forward to get what the farmer harvested out of the benevolence of the state, so that we can be able to evaluate, is it adding value to Kenyans or we are wasting taxpayers' money? Second question with regard to harvesting, Honorable Chair. We are talking about harvesting. What is the post-management practices of this maize that we have given to the farmer? Most management, take us through.
Governor, I think your CCM has a very powerful voice. You could respond.
Yes.
Thank you. Through the chair, we want to indicate that as a county government, we are so much concerned with the post-harvest losses. And through the national government, we received 2 dryers for Saboti and 2 dryers for Mavuno and Cherengani sub-counties. We also had a program, Fisheries, that provided us with mobile dryers, which we use for our small farmers. And then as a county government, we have 2 big dryers that are usually hired. So we're in process of managing. Thank you.
Chair devolution, allow me to execute this matter.
Let I finish.
Waziri, can you take us step by step? How many dryers does the county government have?
Through the chair, I want to indicate that in Trans Nzoia County we have warehouses. In these warehouses, which we identified, some of them got dryers from the national government. And I can cite, we have Kapsitwet in Kwanza constituency that received a dryer. Then we have Mavuno in Cherengani that received a dryer from the national government. Subsequently, we also have other donor-funded projects, and in this case, I want to cite the Fisheries project that was then in Trans Nzoia County. It is no longer in the county. We received 8 mobile dryers, and this targeted the small-scale farmers. As a county government, we also
just pause there.
Thank you.
The Kapsitwet dryer, who's running the Kapsitwet? It's government funded to a cooperative.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The Mavuno dryer is a cooperative, right?
Yes.
What about Suwerwa, Huruma?
It is a cooperative, but it did not receive the national dryer.
Now, that tells you the committee knows, right? What about the county dryers that were purchased 2018, 2019?
For the case of Sinyereri,
yes.
When we assumed office, there was a stalled dryer at Sinyereri Cooperative.
Yes.
We tried to look for ways of repairing, but the information we were given by the mechanics and those people who operate that there were no spare parts to match the said dryer. And that's why up to date, we were unable to source where the dryers were bought from and how we can repair. So as we talk, the dryer is still there.
And not working.
Not working.
Let me through the chair, take you through the budgets, through the chair, and then allow people to talk.
Just ask questions.
I have a concern. Just a concern too.
Yes,
raise your concern.
Yes, Governor. I hope you are raising it as Governor.
Correct. Are we still talking about procurement and dispute maize to farmers in Trans Nzoia? Because we have veered off the subject completely. We are talking about other people's harvest process.
Governor, let me just, understanding order 228.3, when you are invited to a committee to deal with a matter, there are related matters that the committee can ask. And if you have knowledge and the CCM system of knowledge, she can respond. If you don't have the information, you can seek time to avail documents, because there's the question of seed maize and this program is closely intertwined with the dryers, because that is about maize. That's what you dry maize. And as I said, the CCM has a powerful voice and powerful responses that we all want to listen to.
Thank you, Chair.
You're about to start speculating. Because now you ask a question, then somebody's giving an answer. You can't say that.
No, it's possible to say you don't know. It's
that
possible.
we know everything from 2018 up to now. No. What happened in 2018? Are we being fair?
Governor Yaganu said you proceed. If there are questions that are asked and where you don't have information, CCM would have said no, I can get 7 days because you will have time anyway to supply all the documents. You'll get time. Then you can appear next time after we've gone through these documents to respond to some of the things. You don't have to respond to everything on top of your head. CCM, I will protect you from the senator if he asks an intrusive question. And you can say you don't know and you need time to respond. Proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for this leverage, Chair, because as a committee we look from the inception of the program to the end of the program, so that evaluation, when it's done, the taxpayer of this republic must know there is value for money. Now I want to take us through a brief. As of 30th, 2023, Trans-Nzoia recorded varied levels of budget utilization across its main programs. Under crop diversification program, actual expenditure amounted to 382 million against an approved allocation of 545 million. In the post-harvest management and value addition program, expenditure stood at 38 million compared to an approved estimate of 80 million plus. Why I'm asking this question is very fundamental to the process of ensuring that the farmer, when you give him the free maize, with God's grace, without fertilizer, they harvest enough to dry it if they want surplus to sell, and that is what they can eat. Now, if with this budget you have stalled county dryers and running cooperative dryers run by the cooperatives, then what value are we adding as a government to the farmer of Trans-Nzoia? And expected that when you said you have 8 other mobile dryers, you quickly tell us where they are and their status. And Kenyans are following to know whether those places have those dryers or the dryers are something else. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yes, CCM, respond if you're able to. If you need time, you can say.
Thank you, through the chair. I want to indicate that as a county government, we received the mobile dryers and we equally distributed to the 5 sub-counties. And they are usually run by the cooperatives. We began the initiative where cooperatives manage farmers' issues. 2, concerning the Sinyereri dryer, it is not like all dryers have stalled, and we are not in a position to procure the spare part of that particular dryer.
Chair.
Yes, Senator Abbas.
Yes, Chair, I think, you know, Kitale is the food basket of this country. And the kinds of information that we're getting, the feedbacks we're getting, they're very sketchy. So, I don't know, I think the government was not prepared, as Yahya said. So I think I'll ask the committee to write more questions and more information to source for more information. Because we need to know whether the county maintains a formal register of farmers indicating the farming what kind of activities they have, crops grown, livestock kept, these kind of things. You know, most of us are focusing on Kitale for this country's food production, especially maize. But of course, the way you guys are playing, and I think because you know it and know what time it happened, you are not giving up the real feedback well. So I request the chairman to you.
Order, Senator Abbas. The governor is not annoyed. The governor is.
No, he looks like.
No, he's not annoyed. He's just if the sugars.
Okay, I thought I withdraw my statement.
Yes, so Governor, if you need time, you know, Senator Abbas is from Wajir, where they don't farm, and he's saying that Trans-Nzoia is the food basket of this country. So if you think you need time because there are other questions,
yes,
then you can indicate, and if the CCM response is satisfactory, she can indicate if she needs opportunity to table documents supporting a statement? If not, then we just proceed.
Maybe to add on that, I'll just say how much fund is being taken to for farming, post-harvesting the costs for farmers, and maybe how much are spent as a county. You know, the most important thing is post-harvest. You can plant the maize, but of course, if you don't meet all the requirements for the post-harvest, then you lose a lot of maize. So, but you are not getting how much was the cost of post-harvest, how much maize was produced, and you are saying that you had 3 years successful. 3 years of program. So I think there are a lot of information that has not been provided by your office.
So on that, let Senator ask the question so that you see if we can try.
I just want to satisfy the conscience of members here that the figures I gave earlier was 2023-2024. I believe that the issues of post-harvest need to be given a lot of attention. And part of the presentation we expect as Kenyans is that in the financial year 2023-2024, the good county of Trans Nzoia spent 60,826 as part of post-harvest management, below an approved allocation of 202 million. This indicates the shortcomings that we are hearing here today. I will want Waziri to tell us what mechanisms you are now putting in place.
Order, Senator, is the governor.
Sorry, through the governor of the great county of Trans Nzoia. What measures you are putting in place to avoid such kind of embarrassing absorption of national resources?
Through the chair,
Proceed.
I'd like clarity of the 60 million which was used for the post-harvest.
Do you have your performance index 2023-2024 as a ministry?
Yes,
I want our secretariat to project it on the screen if we are online. Are we there? Then check on your performance index, Waziri.
CCM, the figures are based on the reports of the controller of budget. So maybe you want to, if you do not have that report, you may not respond. You may not.
Yeah, some of those figures are strange. We don't remember having put any money in our budget for post-harvest.
When we are telling you, are not prepared. You
No, we are prepared. When the money is not on the budget.
But you see, now you don't know.
The money is not on the budget.
So,
yeah,
so COP, would the COP write things that are not there?
You know, sometimes you fight for the money. It's like 76 million is on the budget. You say it was not there. COP not the money on the budget. The money never arrived in Trans Nzoia. It's possible. So when you say we will have no money, no budget for post-harvest losses, as governor of Trans Nzoia, please take my word for it. So I'm not speculating.
So Governor, COP. So these figures of COP are to be verified.
They should.
So we need to, then it means that you then need to have the report of the controller or of the auditor general to know what projections were correct, whether you receive those monies or not, because then we are working on documents that, as you say, are not verifiable at this time. And that's why I said you needed time. Just listen to us sometimes.
Chairman, even if you give me a whole year, I can't predict what you want me to give without giving me the requirements of the document that you need. Because you must tell me you need this and this and this, then I'll provide it.
Chair.
Yes, Senator,
I think, Chair, we're just not moving in circles. The best thing is let's give the governor all the documents that's required. Let him bring all the documents.
That will solve our problem.
Governor, it appears that because we do not want to be cyclic in this committee, we don't want to move around circles and to be, or what I would say, to be sinuous or serpentine, where you're going back and forth. And to avoid all these histrionics, that will give you time. The directions are that we give you 7 days to table all documents. We will accompany our request to attend with a letter indicating what documents we need or that we are referring to. And then we also will need another 7 days to go through all the documents that you have submitted to us And then certainly we'll have another date to interrogate some of these details. As I've told you, some people have signed for others. There are people who are widows twice. A man who is a widow and a woman who is a widow, and we do not know. Signatures are the same. So we need to go through these documents. And when you come back next time, your powerful CCM can then respond to these issues without a doubt.
Tell us the documents that you need.
We will.
And we'll avail them.
Give a full list.
Yeah, just give us a full list, because some of these questions are appearing as an ambush.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not for even you as a lawyer, you know these things.
Of course, Governor. Yeah, you cannot doubt that.
Chair, can I say something? I'm Osoro Patrick, the Chief Officer Agriculture and Irrigation.
Yes, Mr. Osoro. Through the governor. Yes. Proceed, Mr. Osoro.
Yes. Chair, I wanted to confirm, because I'm the finance in charge as accounting officer for agriculture. 2023-2024. I want to confirm that we did get 60 million for post-harvest losses, and let it be in record.
You are confirming that you did not receive the money?
Yes.
You are confirming that the control of budget records are incorrect?
Chair, the control of budget, I don't know. But what we have, because that is what was passed in the county assembly, we did get 60 million for post-harvest losses. That is true.
Chair, may I ask one question?
Yes, Senator.
Maybe I want to ask, I'm sorry, I want to ask for clarification. Who is supposed to give you the money? The money, I thought you already given a budget. You have a county budget. So whom are you asking the money? Who was supposed to give you the money? The 60 million?
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
You know, Honorable Senator,
yes.
We have documents, surely. Why don't we base this argument
No, I'm not asking you a question. You say that you did not receive the 60 million for post-harvest. The county has its own budget. Was that money supposed to be part of the budget of the county? Was it coming from PROCA? Was it coming from national government? Be very specific.
Through the judge, the money was not in the budget.
We didn't budget for it. Anybody said it was one of the budget and figure.
Yes.
Our approved budget by the county assembly, which I sent it through, does not have a provision of 60
Senator, yeah, Senator, past Governor, we'll avoid all these histrionics. We will adjourn. Before we adjourn, Governor, do you have anything to say on behalf of your team?
Chairman, the only thing I want to say is that for us to prepare well to come to the Senate, we should be given what the Senate requires. So if you're going to talk about procurement, and then we are taking most of the time talking about other related issues, that nobody gave us even a hint that we are supposed to come and respond to them. We come here and we appear as if we are not prepared. But believe you me, if you gave us the list of requirements, we'll be the first people to come here and produce that list. But you know, when you say someone says, this is something like that, you know, really, we want to have those nitty-gritties that a governor ordinarily will not have that information. I'll have to go and get that information. But the information is available, is there. So just give us adequate time, give us a list of what we need, and let this session not just be about the procurement of basic, because honestly it's not. We are discussing the entire Department of Agriculture in Trans Nzoia and the activities of that department. But we came here knowing that we talking about the procurement of maize seeds, and if the procurement process was above board, and who benefited. But now we have discussed the Department of Agriculture, even before I came into office 2018. How can I know those things? But if you told me that we're going to come from that time, I'll go to the archives and I'll get the information. I won't say that that's all I am going to just provide that information as the governor of Trans Nzoia. Just as simple as that.
Governor, Senators, do you have any?
Well, I think
just closing remark.
What I'm saying is that, Your Excellency, I want you to open up your mind. We have done our best to at least accommodate for today, because we have told the chairman to sit out of the city, to stand aside. The committee has resolved the session, and then we have another chairman. But we have still not opened up very well. So please, next time you come, I want you to open your mind and tell us the truth of the matter. Because we have no political interest yet. We never belong to a party, we never belong to a police. This is a central house. We were senators and we will give you the fair hearing. So please, I want you to come next time, Brother Chairman, with all due respect, to have an open mind that we could be asking any questions. Because when somebody is ordered to you, even when you go to lower court, the judge will ask you every question. You know that must be told everything. So with all due respect, please feel free. And next time, please answer the questions. Not with a bit of prejudice. We don't have any prejudice. This is a committee of 9 people. And if you are not believing in maybe the chairman, then believe in us. And we'll give you a fair hearing. Is that okay?
Senator. Thank you, Honorable Chair and members of the committee and the team from the Great County of Trans Nzoia and the Secretariat. My finishing remarks will be as follows. The Ministry of Agriculture is a broad ministry, and it's the backbone of this country and the Great County of Trans Nzoia. The farmers of maize are the majority in Trans Nzoia. We have peasant farmers, those who are getting 2 kilos of maize, and we have cash crop farmers, those with big tracts of land. And it's very important that when an investment of that magnitude is invested in the people must transcend or improve from dependency syndrome to self-sustaining. And that must be done through collaboration of both the local leadership, the county leadership, and the national leadership. What has been exhibited here today is a true reflection of what is happening across the country in the ministries of agriculture. And for us to change the wheel as a committee and as a Senate, we must delve deeper from the beginning to the end of the value chain and ensure the taxpayers' money is accounted for and the people are satisfied and contented that truly the process is above board, they are harvesting what they deserve, and the country gets the due fare of the tax they give. I am very sorry if we have brushed shoulders here, but we are basically saying that people must be held accountable. And that is why we are asking detail by detail, document by document, to ensure that the perception and aspersions carried forward by people that this committee is not fair must be dispelled off with, and the people must know that the Senate of the Republic of Kenya has turned a new leaf on oversight, accountability, and representation. And the time that is going to be given must be used prudently to facilitate this House with correct, accurate, prompt information that can hold any one of us accountable. We are going to go through these documents with a toothpick and ensure that what has been said is truly and nothing but the truth. I want to stop at that and thank the great people of Trans Nzoia for coming, for opening up, sharing with us, and we want to commit ourselves to be champions of democracy and defenders of devolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Governor, finally, let me just also thank you. And just note 2 things. One, you have not updated your website to include complete financial documents as required under PFM. Definitely do that in good time so that that does not become an issue. Number 2, I don't know why you're worried about Mtego. This is not State House where there are Mtegos. Here, this is Parliament, we have no Mtegos, and there are no people who are in charge of Mtegos to trap others. Here we're just a committee doing its work above board, and we will ensure that we treat everyone fairly. That is how it is, and you have a big team of officers who appear competent, they seem to understand. Now, I think we have given you timelines, the 7 days, and we will also require of you to indicate to you if there are documents we are referring to within the contents or the letter that we shall write to you. Then we can convene again after we've gone through, after recess. So you have enough time for the department, the chief officer who is saying he did not receive money, but the record say he received. The CCM who is here and who has a powerful voice, responding to every question on point. When you come back, I'm sure you will have better responses to the question, so that as Chair then said, we deal with everything, and you also show us how beneficial this program is to the country and to your people, so that it is not a loss-making enterprise, so that we can emulate this program. Personally, I give seed, and now I'm in the process of going around the farms to see how the seeds have turned out, and that is how it is. So I thank you very much. Have a good journey back to Trans Nzoia. Yes, Senator Bass.
I want this document.
Yes.
It's not a good.
Can you take back CCM? Can you take back and have your documents paginated?
Yes.
Properly item, because they are not, and some are not clear. The pages that are not page 13, page 12, page 16, all those things are not, so that you don't have, they're not prejudiced when a report is written and a document is not legible. It's only fair that we treat you well, so that you don't say that you are you're tired. And then you can sign all of them. Governor, you said you're in office, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. You just sign that you don't have.
Are we taking back the documents and signing now?
I think you paginate. That CFO, that's your work. The chief officer, agriculture, to make sure they are paginated so that you have a clean document. You know, the governor, you are too smart for some of these documents. You cannot be giving us documents that are not.
Timeline 3 days. All these questions, 3 days.
Yes, but you are too smart. When at least on TV. Thank you. Yeah. So we formally adjourn the meeting to when we convene next. Thank you very much. We are, you can take your leave. Thank you very much.